season going, but I think when you look at our home schedule and what we have this year, and then the group of kids that you have coming back that we're kind of sitting and waiting, and then the group of kids that have been able to compete for us, man, if you're not excited for UNI wrestling right now, something's wrong. I know that I am, and I know what I've seen in the room this spring and summer, and not just the Dylan Peters, not just the Cooper Moores, not just the Max Thompsons, but the other guys and how they're progressing too. I mean, that's what excites me as a coach, and seeing these guys grow and develop in the last 6 months has been really exciting. I think it's the biggest growth spurt we've had as a group since I've been here, and a lot has to do with the group of kids that you have in the room right now and the standard that they're setting for themselves on and off the mat. There was no doubt that the freshman group that we brought in last year is a special group, and I think we knew that coming in. And they've raised everyone's level and expectations, and I think they've got everyone rather kind of on fire right now and excited and looking forward to the season. And then trying to temper that with, hey man, today's the day and we got to continue to get better, and not getting too caught up into looking forward to what competition, but how much growth we can have from now to the end of the season. Because that's really what we're looking for, and we're just looking for continued growth and to look at whatever obstacles coming our way, and we had some last year. You got a guy like Dylan Peters, he tears his ACL in December. He used that obstacle as a way to motivate him, and now for him this year, he's going to be in such a better place because he knows what he can handle. He placed, you say on one leg, but he did place on one leg. It's hard to wrestle that way when you're hurt. But I can tell you what, he made up his mind right away, and to me that's very indicative of our team and how we're going to move forward from having any type of setbacks. I mean, that's how we're going to look at them. Every setback's an opportunity, and he epitomized that. And he's going to be stronger this year. Everyone's kind of asking, well, where's Dylan Peters at? Where's Dylan Peters at? He's back on the mat. We're working him into it. But the great thing is we don't just have Dylan Peters. You just start looking up and down our lineup, and I'm going to leave some guys out, but someone's going to have to step up for a while for him. And you got a guy like Tanner Roeter or a guy like Jay Schwarm who are ready to do that. And they're both chomping at the bit because, man, I want to be the guy that steps out there, and I want to be the guy that takes Peter's spot and don't give it back to him. I mean, that's kind of how we're talking to those guys. A guy like Albert back. And did he have the season he wanted last year? 100% no, but he learned a lot. And we kind of talk about those obstacles in getting weight control, going through a whole season as opportunities and learning from them, and he's done it. He's a lot better wrestler right now. Kothi tore his ACL last year, another obstacle, but he's going to be better. He's going to be better for that. He's back healthy and been wrestling. Him and Hodges are going to scrap and battle. 49, I think everyone's excited to see Max Thompson get out there and compete. I know I am. And I know he is too. But then you get a guy like Hunter Washburn, who, talk about those guys that are behind maybe the front guy that are pushing him. He's one of those guys, and he's made a huge jump in the last year. 57, and I'm kind of going into where we got some depth now. I don't think I've ever had this much depth on our team. And sometimes depth takes time. I want to have depth the first year, but to be able to have depth the first year, not always realistic. But now we have quality depth. We have guys that can wrestle and compete at a high level. And if something happens where there is a stumble, somebody gets hurt, there's a big drop off. This guy, he can step in and he can perform at a really high level, and he expects to perform at a really high level. So 57, Stuyerton and Peyton Moore are going to battle, and that's great because I don't think I've had where you can have those two guys like that. 65, Cooper's healthy, and he looks really good. Knock on wood. We got to keep him there. 74, a guy like Lujan. He's going to be really fun to watch. He's going to be a fan favorite, and I keep saying that, but just in how he competes, in how he's kind of reckless in a way, but reckless that you're just going to have to keep your eyes on him the whole time, and reckless in a way that the guys, when they get done wrestling with him, they're going to be, man, I don't know if I want to wrestle that guy again. 84, you got Foster and Hochschlag, two young guys who compete really well. Foster got so much better throughout the year, and getting that opportunity to compete in our conference tournament was a big thing for him, and he just keeps growing. But you got a battle there, and then Hoffman and Bartel, you got a battle at 97, and we got our transfer in J.J. Everhard, and then there's a lot of guys I'm leaving off the list, but they're all pushing those guys to make them better. And you start talking about that lineup, and what gets me more excited I guess anything is I'm not talking about our lineup. The guys on our team are talking about our lineup. They're talking about it amongst themselves. They're talking about it when they're out talking with people. And remember, we have a big homecoming event. And Albert got up and he was the first guy to talk. And all he talked about is, I can't wait to see Dylan Peters wrestle. I can't wait to see Jake Cothey wrestle. I can't wait to see, I can't wait to see my teammates go out there and compete. And that's what excites me the most, is that guys are excited to compete. And, we're not far off from getting out there, but also the growth that they've made as a group. I'm just telling you, I haven't seen that much growth since I've been here. So that's exciting for me as a coach, and hopefully it's exciting for any of the fans out there too, and exciting for you guys who are going to cover us to see this guys and how much better they get throughout. You see some of these guys, how much better they get throughout this year, because it's going to be fun. I'm always looking forward to it. I mean, I can go the old cliches, but excited just to see how these guys perform, because what I see in the room is really good, but now we got to carry that over to competition. And then whenever something bad happens, because something bad's going to happen, it's just part of the sport. How do they handle that? How do they move forward? Do they get better from it? And I can guarantee you they'll get better from it, because we have some guys in the past that have been able to do that. A guy like Peters, he was able to do it, and now our other guys can do that too. So, I don't know. Any questions?
What spurred on that growth?